What do you do when your ex-husband's new girlfriend shows up on national television, pregnant, glowing, and rubbing it in your face? Well, Remy Ma didn't come to the BET Awards to smile and wave. And Claressa Shields? She came ready to steal the spotlight, and possibly Remy's entire storyline. But what nobody saw coming, not the fans, not security, not even the BET camera crew, was what happened when Remy Ma snapped and confronted Claressa on stage like it was a WWE showdown. And yes, the mic was still hot. This wasn't just a petty moment or a bit of live TV awkwardness. This was something people will be talking about for years. One moment, Claressa was confidently showing off her baby bump in a designer gown. The next, Remy Ma was storming across the stage, heels clicking, lashes fluttering, grabbing Claressa like she was dragging her own dignity out of the mud. And the worst part? It was all caught in crystal clear 4K video. Bet tried to cut the live feed, but the damage was done. Clips spread online within minutes, with viewers reacting like Beyoncé had just announced a surprise breakup tour. But what really pushed Remy over the edge wasn't the pregnancy itself. It was something Claressa whispered in her ear just seconds before Remy lost control. Let's back up. Everything started with the sparkle, not just from the glittering gowns on the red carpet, but from Claressa herself. Known as the GOAT, greatest woman of all time in boxing, Claressa arrived in a custom maternity Balenciaga dress, stepping out of a black SUV like she was royalty. Nobody knew she was expecting. And when she stepped onto the carpet with her baby bump proudly on display, the internet basically exploded. Pregnant by who? People asked. But come on, everyone already knew. Papoose, Remy Ma's longtime husband. The man who stayed by her side through her prison time, her career ups and downs, and all kinds of public drama. And now, he was allegedly the father of Claressa's child. But what made everything worse was the way Claressa walked past Remy, smirking, unbothered, almost smug. It was the kind of look that didn't need words. It screamed, "I won." Remy stood frozen in a bright yellow dress, barely blinking, lips pressed tight like she was trying not to explode. This wasn't the first time these three had been tangled up in drama. Remember the video from last year? The one where Remy found Claressa sitting a little too comfortably on Papoose's lap? That was strike one. Then there was the podcast moment, when Remy stormed off after being asked about Papoose's new interest, in boxing. Strike two. And now, this BET appearance? Strike three. And Remy wasn't just swinging. She came with the whole bat. Whoever decided to seat Remy and Papoose just one row apart was clearly out of their mind. Then, as if the night couldn't get any more tense, Claressa was announced as the presenter for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist. She walked on stage like she owned it, 6 months pregnant and glowing like a spotlight. And then, she went off script. "Before we get into this award," she said, "being a fighter isn't just about boxing. It's about fighting for love, for life, and for family. Especially when you're about to start one." Gasps, murmurs, phones came out. Bet's control room went into full panic mode. The camera cut to Remy Ma, who looked like she was holding back a scream, and then Claressa rubbed her belly, center stage. That's when everything exploded. Remy stood up, not caring about cameras or gowns or reputations. She stormed the stage like a woman on a mission. 12 different phone cameras caught it from different angles. Remy grabbed the mic. Claressa stepped back, still smirking. "You want to talk about fighting? Say it to my face, Papa!" Remy shouted. Security scrambled. Claressa took one step back. But before anyone could step in, Remy snatched Claressa's wig on live TV. The crowd lost it. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, every platform lit up. People called it the Love and Hip Hop Final Boss Battle. And just before the wig snatch, according to a source backstage, Claressa had whispered, "He wanted a real legacy." That was it. 5 words. That's what pushed Remy Ma into full-on chaos. Claressa didn't flinch. Not when security came running. Not when one of Remy's acrylic nails went flying. It took 3 people to hold Remy back. Claressa calmly fixed her wig, smiled, and said, "Let's get back to the award, shall we?" Outside the venue, more drama brewed. Some claimed Papoose was waiting for Claressa. Others said he tried to talk to Remy but was blocked by her team. But one thing was clear. This wasn't just a one-time clash. This was war. Soon after, a backstage video leaked. It didn't come from BT. It came from a verified burner account that mysteriously vanished. The clip showed Remy screaming into her phone. "You lied to me. You said she was just a rumor." She was pacing, wig tilted, tears in her voice. Not long after, text messages surfaced, allegedly between Remy and Papoose. "Why didn't you tell me she was pregnant?" one message read. "You really gonna let her humiliate me like that on stage?" His reply. "She said she wouldn't go." Public. "I didn't know she'd do it like that." Then came even more receipts. A Detroit event planner leaked a baby shower booking. Name on file, Shields Papoose. Theme, a legacy in the making. A mini boxing ring was even included. And then, the voice memo. 30 seconds of Claressa's voice saying, "He already picked the middle name." Said it has to start with R, for respect. Social media went into a frenzy. Everyone had an opinion. Team Remy said she was betrayed and humiliated. Team Claressa said she was just telling the truth and owning her story. Celebs jumped in, too. Foxy Brown posted, "You can't keep a king acting like a clown." Snoop Dogg joked, "Remy took lean back way too far." Cardi B liked a tweet that said, "Claressa didn't start the fight, she just ended the storyline." The next morning, paparazzi caught a blurry photo of Remy leaving a hotel in LA. Hair covered, no makeup, no ring. Her team said she didn't need medical attention, but fans noticed something was off. Meanwhile, Claressa doubled down. She posted a fan-edited clip of the BET moment with the caption, "You can't snatch a crown from a queen. Only wigs. Stay. Mad." It hit 1 million likes in under 2 hours. And Papoose? Silent. But fans noticed his Instagram had changed. No more Black Love slogan, no more Remy posts. Then he uploaded a picture of baby items. Little boxing gloves, a onesie with Legacy Champ, and an ultrasound. Caption? "Sometimes blessings come through chaos." It felt like the end of an era. Remy and Papoose had once been hip-hop's power couple. Now, people were digging up old interviews where Remy said, "If he ever had a baby on me, I wouldn't yell. I'd just leave." And here we are. Rumors started that Remy's team was considering legal action, not just against Claressa, but possibly against BET for airing it all. BET released a generic statement about not condoning violence and internal reviews, but it was clear they were caught red-handed. Claressa's team? Thriving. Word spread she was negotiating a documentary deal called Legacy about motherhood, boxing, and media storms. Netflix was allegedly already offering a 6-figure deal. In the middle of all this chaos, one detail stood out. A TikTok user zoomed in on Claressa's dress. Right on the belly area, in tiny gold thread, was one word: pap. That's when people realized this wasn't a moment of passion. It was planned. A deliberate takedown of Remy Ma's pride on live television in front of the world. And when one more leak dropped, a DM allegedly from Claressa that said, "She disrespected me in private. I'll teach her in public," everything made sense. This wasn't just scandal. This was revenge. And it had just begun. The morning after the BET Awards drama, Remy Ma's legal team moved quickly. By noon, they had already sent a cease and desist letter to BET's main office in New York. They accused the network of using Remy's name and pain without permission. The letter also claimed BET planned the emotional setup just to boost ratings. According to someone close to Remy, her team demanded that BET remove the full awards show from all streaming services, issue a public apology, and pay for the emotional damage they caused. BET didn't respond. They stayed completely silent. But that silence only made things worse. Remy went completely off the radar. Her assistants, stylists, and even her friends stopped posting online. Paparazzi tried to find her, but she had already flown back to New York the same night, wearing a hoodie and avoiding attention. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields wasn't hiding. She posted a bold maternity photo in a boxing gym with her hands on. Her stomach and the caption, "I was built for this." She didn't tag anyone or explain anything. That quiet confidence hit hard. For many fans, it felt like she was throwing shade, and people began to wonder if Remy had just lost control of her own story.